Jolly Stories with Jack, written and illustrated by Jill Crowder. This story is called Dangerous Hugs. Dangerous Hugs. One day, Jack came bouncing into Jolly's house. Jack stayed with Jolly every day while his parents were at work. Though he missed his mommy and daddy, he liked going to visit Jolly. She was the craziest grandmother of all the grandmothers he knew. He never knew what he might do at Jolly's house, but 3 things were certain. He would have fun, he would get dirty, and he would hear about Jesus. That was just the Jolly way. When Jack busted through the door, he ran straight to Jolly and jumped up to give her a big hug, just like he did every day. But this morning, Jack was extra bouncy. When Jolly bent down and Jack bounced up, they bumped heads together very hard. "Ouch!" Jack wailed as he grabbed the top of his head. "You bopped me right in my sniffer," Jolly said as she grabbed her nose and bent down to pick up her glasses off the floor. "Bopped me in my sniffer and knocked my glasses across the room. That was a dangerous hug. Let's try that again a little less bouncy." Jack was still rubbing his head as he buried it into Jolly's chest. "That's better," said Jolly as she kissed her little man on top of the head. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm tough stuff. Hugs aren't too dangerous for me." Jolly, you're bleeding right there on your forehead," Jack said frantically. Jolly walked over to the mirror on the wall to examine her wound. "Well, my goodness, you got me pretty good." "Does it hurt? I'm so sorry," Jack said with a frown. "Don't you worry about me. I'm tough stuff too. I'll be okay. But why would I be bleeding?" Just then, Jolly looked down at her glasses that were still in her hand. Her glasses were broken. The broken glass must have scratched her before they fell to the floor. "Oh, no," said Jolly. "I guess you'll have to be my eyes until I get my glasses fixed." She placed the broken glasses on the counter and put a bright blue bandage on her forehead. Jack giggled at the bandage on Jolly's face, but then he decided he needed one too. They could be bandage buddies, but Jack was a little confused about one thing. "Jolly, how can I be your eyes?" "Well, Mr. Bandage Head, my glasses help me see. Without them, I might need a little help from you because your eyes can see things my eyes can't see. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses," Jolly explained. "If I'm Mr. Bandage Head, then you are Mrs. Bandage Head." Jack thought he was funny, calling Jolly a bandage head. Jolly thought Jack was funny, laughing at his own jokes. "What does blind mean? I've never heard that word before," asked Jack. Jolly replied, "Blind is when a person cannot see. Some people have eyes that don't work the same way our eyes work. God makes everyone differently, and sometimes he makes people who have to see with their hands instead of their eyes. But I was just joking. I'm not blind. Without my glasses, things will be a little blurry, but I can see a lot of things too. I might not be able to do any reading until I get my glasses fixed, but that's okay. I can tell stories even if I'm not reading them." "See with their hands?" Jack questioned. "Yep, people who can't see with their eyes have to feel around with their hands to know where things are. Here, let's play a game." Jolly picked Jack up and put him on the stool by the counter. "Close your eyes and hold out your hand. I'm going to put something in your hand. You see if you can see with your hands and then guess what it is." "It's a banana," he said very doubtfully. Yes, yes it is, exclaimed Jolly. You are very good at this game. One more. I bet you don't guess this one. I bet I do, Jack said confidently, and he stretched out his hands and closed his eyes for the third time. This time, Jolly very quietly opened the freezer and pulled out a tub of ice cream. She scooped a small bit into Jack's hand. "Woo, this is cold. Is it ice?" asked Jack. "No, it's not ice. Maybe you should see with your nose. Try to smell it and see if you can guess what it is." Jack lifted his hand up to his face, but just before he smelled it, Jolly pushed his hand into his face, smearing ice cream all over his mouth and nose. "Ice cream! It's ice cream!" Jack licked the ice cream off of his face and then slurped up what was left in his hand. "Can I have ice cream for lunch?" Jolly laughed. "No way, Mr. Bandage Head. I've already fixed you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Plus, I would be in big trouble with your mom if I let you have ice cream for lunch." "But Jolly, I won't even tell her. She'll never even know," Jack begged. "N-O spells no. Not gonna do it," Jolly said firmly. "Why don't you have a seat at the table and I will bring you your lunch?" Jack jumped down from the stool and sat down at the table to eat his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Jolly also gave him a few pretzels and a cupful of chocolate milk. In no time he was finished, and it was time for Jolly to wash up a few dishes and clean the kitchen. While Jolly cleaned up after lunch, Jack always drew a picture for her. Then it would be time for him to rest. Jack pulled out a piece of paper and the bucket of crayons and started drawing. "Oh no," Jack whined. He crumpled up his paper to throw it in the trash can. "What's the deal with that? Did your picture not turn out the way you wanted?" asked Jolly. "I guess you can't draw if you're blind. I closed my eyes and tried to draw you a butterfly, but it doesn't look like a butterfly at all," Jack said very disappointedly. "You did? Let's see it," Jolly said with a laugh. "No, I'm not showing you. The wings are different sizes, and I crossed over the lines in the middle. The antennas aren't even touching the butterfly's head. It doesn't look good at all. I guess you have to see to do art." Well, that's not always the case. Drawing could be difficult, but everything gets better when you practice. Even if someone couldn't draw, there are other kinds of arts. There is sculpting, sewing, acting, woodworking, painting, playing instruments, singing. Lots of things can be art. Art isn't just something you see with your eyes. It can be lots of different things. "Singing is art?" Jack asked. "Well, maybe not the way I do it," Jolly teased, "but some people practice until they can do beautiful things with their voice. Art can be anything. But I really wish you would let me check out that butterfly." "Okay, but I'm warning you, it's not very good," Jack said sheepishly. He unfolded his paper and showed it to Jolly. "Jack, it looks beautiful. Without my glasses, I can't even tell the wings are different size. I can't see that the lines are crossed in the middle, and it looks like the antennas are exactly where they're supposed to be. That is a perfect butterfly for me to look at today." Jack smiled. He forgot that Jolly couldn't see all his mistakes today. But then, Jolly didn't seem to ever see his mistakes if he was trying his best. "I think this butterfly deserves a big hug," Jolly said, as she swooped Jack up into her arms. "Just not another dangerous hug," Jack laughed. "I don't want to be Mr. Two Bandage Head." Jolly laughed a big laugh and then told Jack to go get his blanket and meet her in the big chair. "I think I have the perfect story for you today. It's about a blind man, and you are not ready for this one." Jack grabbed his special blanket that Jolly made him and crawled up in her lap. Jolly pointed to the second square on the top row and said, "This is the blind beggar, and he has a super cool story." One day, Jesus and some of his disciples were walking through Jerusalem. Disciple is a Bible word that means Jesus' helper. People who were going to go with him and learn to be more like him so they could help tell people about him and God's love. As they were walking, they came upon a man sitting on the ground begging for money. This man was blind, and he had been that way since he was born. His eyes did not work. Because he couldn't see, he couldn't get a job or provide for himself. All he could do was sit and ask people to give him money for food. The disciples were very curious about this man. They asked if God had made him blind to punish him because he had done something wrong, or if he was blind because his parents had done something wrong. Jesus answered that his condition had nothing to do with him or his parents. This man was blind so Jesus could heal him and show the world the wonderful things God can do. Jesus walked up to the man. He spit on the ground and then swirled it around with his fingers until it made a muddy clay. Jesus took the clay and put it on the beggar's eyes. Then Jesus told the man to go to the pool of Siloam and wash the clay off his eyes. The man stood up, made his way to the pool, and washed his face just as Jesus had told him to do. When he opened his eyes, he could see. Jesus had healed him. All the people around the pool were curious about what had just happened. They asked him who healed him, and he said, "I don't know. I didn't see him." But they called him Jesus. This made a lot of people very angry because they did not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. They thought Jesus was trying to trick people and confuse them. They said if Jesus did this work, then he was breaking a rule because it was against the rules to work on the Sabbath. The Sabbath day was for resting and worshiping. If Jesus was God's son, he wouldn't have been breaking the rules. The man said, "All I know is that I was blind, but now I see." When the man still believed and Jesus was the Son of God, they kicked him out of the temple. But he went on telling lots and lots of people about Jesus. "Well, what did you think about the blind beggar?" Jolly asked the very sleepy little boy sitting on her lap. "I don't know," Jack said. "It was cool that Jesus helped him to see, but spit mud is super gross. I mean, I like mud and I like spitting, but I don't think I would like to rub spit mud on my eyes." Then Jack got very serious. And it was kind of sad that the beggar got kicked out of the temple for telling the truth. I don't know if I like that part either. Jolly smiled and kissed her sleepy little man on the top of the head. "Yeah, that part is sad, but I bet he couldn't be too sad about it. For the first time in his whole life, he could see. I'm sure he had plenty of other things to keep his mind off of that one sad thing. Jesus healed him. There was way more happy in this story than sad. Life is full of happy times and sad times for everyone, but right now, it's sleepy time for a certain Mr. Bandage Head." Jack snuggled his head into Jolly and with a big yawn said, "Okay, Jolly." Then he closed his eyes. Jack smiled with his eyes still closed and whispered, "I mean, Mrs. Bandage Head." Jolly giggled and said, "Sleep tight, my little doodle nugget. Jolly loves you." And with that, Jack fell fast asleep. That's the end of Dangerous Hugs. I hope you liked this story. If you did, like and subscribe so you can see more stories coming soon. And as always, you can check us out on Amazon to find more Jolly stories. Until next time, Jolly loves you.